Hello, my Christian friends, particularly those of you who are of the Christian persuasion, but then again, anyone who respects, appreciates religious freedom in our land. Here is the news, as you probably did not hear it. I'm going to include the link below where this came from. I'm going to play a 2-minute clip of this video I found on YouTube from a guy named Lance Walno, and you've probably heard me quote this guy and refer to some of his work, but check this out.
Interests, in the interest of this social global collapse of nation states. And remember this, nations was God's idea. If, salvation is the most important thing that can happen. If you're an evangelical, you believe that the saving of the soul is the most important thing. But I'll tell you something. There'll be an end to the day when evangelism happens. When Christ returns, when there's a new heaven and a new earth, according to the Bible, there's no more evangelism. There's no more revival. There's no more healing. All the things that we obsess with, they stop. But you know what goes on into eternity? Nations. Nations outlast even the period of evangelism, because nations was God's eternal plan, and every nation exhibits its own glory in its own unique way. The glory of nations is what it's referred to in the book of Revelation, and Trump talks about the glory of nations, the United Nations, and says sovereign nations is what we're all about, and we're resisting the spirit of globalism. I mean, he goes there. He says the future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The future belongs to sovereign, independent nations, who protect their citizens, support their neighbors, honor the differences that make each country unique and special. Every country, he says, has a uniqueness about it. I mean, it's like he gets it. Meanwhile, the average, I'm sorry to say, the average preacher and the word of God proclaimers don't even know that they've got now a prophetic statesman rebuking the world order because it's trying to collapse the sovereignty of nation states, while the virus of deterioration is working in the United States through academia and media and the political ideologies in order to strip us of our own unique nation status, humiliate us and beat us up over any mistake that has ever been made in our life and our history. They do it to people, and they do it to our own history as a nation. Instead of celebrating and affirming what is right, they tear down and basically say that America stinks, and that they try to build this grievance platform to try to redefine America.
Okay, probably haven't heard that anywhere, and I didn't. Well, when I listened to President Trump give his speech at the United Nations, I think it's just fascinating that the United Nations was hosted, I believe, in New York. And our president went there. And I don't mean just geographically, but he went and took on so many topics. Everything from religious freedom to the fake media, to a nation's right to protect its own national sovereignty and to resist this new one world order. Pretty amazing, fascinating stuff. Check it out. All right, talk to you guys later. Only be strong and courageous in speaking the truth. Would love to hear your comments below. Like, comment, share, and talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend.